You're watching Rurouni K95's anime review on Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. Hi Ruronis, this is your pal Rurouni K95 here. Today's anime review, we get to cover an otaku culture related anime. For today's anime review is Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun is a Japanese four-panel romantic manga comedy manga written and illustrated by Izumi Tsubaki. The chapters are serialized online by in Gangan Online, have both published in both physical and digital releases of shoujo romance girly and tankobon volumes by Square Enix. An anime adaptation by Doga Kobo aired in July 2014. So let's review the anime TV series, which I'm going to be discussing about. Let's begin. Chio Sakura confesses to her crush Umataro Nozaki by saying she is his fan, but he responds by giving her his autograph. So she then says she wants to be with him. So Nozaki invites her to his apartment and makes her do beta work. After several hours, she realizes Nozaki is the shoujo manga artist Sakiko Yumeno, who was published in the popular magazine Monthly Girls Romance. Together, they attempt to think of a romance scenarios for his work, such as taking a girl home on a bicycle because two people riding a bicycle is against the law. Nozaki and Sakura ride a tandem bicycle instead for inspiration. Finding none, Nozaki writes a scenario where his main characters Suzuki and Mamiko walk home. Sakura tries to confess her love again, but it gets another autograph. Nozaki introduces Sakura to his friend and assistant Mikoto Mikoshiba, a popular and flirtatious guy who Sakura soon learns is painfully shy and easily embarrassed. He spends a session at Nozaki's place pretending to be aloof, but in reality is waiting for Sakura to ask for his help. Sakura learns that Mikoshiba's artistic specialty is adding background decorations such as flowers. She also discovers Mikoshiba is Nozaki's secret model for the heroine of his manga. Mamiko later Nozaki asks Sakura if she has any friends who might fit in a shoujo manga. She introduces him to Yuzuki Seo, an athletic girl who has the habit of being obviously insensitive to others. However, secretly she has an angelic singing voice, earning the nickname the choir club's Lorelei. Mikoshiba introduces Sakura and Nozaki to his best friend Yu Kashima, known as the Prince of the School. Kashima turns out to be a girl with an androgynous appearance and is incredibly popular among other girls. Her carefree attitude towards her drama club irritates the club's president, Masayuki Hori, who often scolds and physically beats her. After helping Hori paint some sets, Sakura discovers that he is the one who does backgrounds for Nozaki's manga in exchange for screenplays. However, Nozaki has trouble for creating a new script after meeting Kashima in person. He has Hori and Sakura roleplay his script, during which Mikoshiba also gets involved, inspire their acting. Nozaki finally writes a decent script, but realizes he based the female lead off of Mikoshiba again. I mean, what is it with role playings when they're doing a script for a manga? By this time, Mikoshiba asks Nozaki if he could stay the night, advice for regarding girls in his dating simulation game. Mikoshiba initially played dating simulations to learn to talk to real girls, but he developed a love for 2D girls instead. As they play through the game, they realize the protagonist's best friend Tomoda supported the protagonist every step of the way. Touched by Tomoda's selfless love, Nozaki and Mikoshiba make a comic about the two characters later discovered by Sakura in a boy's love story. Later, Mikoshiba is invited to attend a mixer, but he is too shy to know what to do there. Nozaki and Sakura unsuccessfully practice with him since they also have no experience with the mixers. In the end, Kashima takes Mikoshiba's place at the event and succeeds as the only one to attract girls. Nozaki cleans his apartment for his editor, Ken Miyame, who also appears so distant that Sakura thinks he and Ken's friendship is one-sided. However, Nozaki praises him in comparison to his previous editor, Mitsuya Maino. Sakura meets Nozaki's neighbor and manga artist Yukari Miyako, who is current editor is Maino. Sakura learns of his narcissism and incompetence as an editor, such as pressuring Miyako to Anukuis in her manga and physically losing Miyako's manuscript. After reviewing a draft, Ken criticizes Nozaki's heroine for her lack of complicated feelings. Nozaki pretends to be Miko for a day in order to understand her character, realizing Mamiko spends too much time thinking about love. By this time, Nozaki concludes to Ken that Mamiko should study for school more. That's how you guessed it, for focusing on school work in this anime. Nozaki runs into Hirotaka Wakamatsu for his junior from their middle school basketball team. Wakamatsu tells Nozaki how Seiyo harasses him, making him unable to sleep. Ironically, when Wakamatsu hears a song by Laura Relay at Nozaki's house, he immediately falls asleep. Nozaki creates two side characters based on Seiyo and Wakamatsu's relationship named Oze and Waka. Wakamatsu uses shoujo manga as reference to express his anger at Seiyo, but she interrupts his actions as a love confession. Later on, Nozaki gets a fever and sends text message SOS to Hori, Sakura, and Wakamatsu. The three team up to help Nozaki with his manga and discover Wakamatsu is skilled at applying screen tones. However, without Nozaki's direction, they add mismatched screen tones to every page. Sakura takes Nozaki to the mall on his day off so he can take a break from his manga. However, they spend time watching a movie for background references, shopping for a sailor uniform, and browsing a figurine store for pose. As they encounter Mikoshiba looking at Bishoujo figurines, who is embarrassed, kicks them out. Nozaki invites Sakura to his house afterwards, hoping she can wear his newly bought sailor uniform for photo references later on. Mikoshiba volunteers to model for the art club, though he felt reluctant at first. Sakura and the art club help him feel uncomfortable by directing his poses. Mikoshiba becomes too uncomfortable and careless with his words that when he asked if he would model again, he promises to do it nude. At this weird point, inside Hori's bag, Kashima finds a copy of Nozaki's manga with detailed notes, leading her to believe Hori secretly wants to be a girl wishing to help. She replaces his clothes with feminine clothes. While driving crazy by her antics, he is also impressed by how coordinated the feminine clothes are. Later, Hori urges Nozaki to practice drawing backgrounds, a skill the latter is bad at, much to Hori's frustration at this point. Nozaki places boxes under his characters to compensate for bad art perspective. Hori collapses at school, tired for drawing for Nozaki all night, so Kashima carries him like a horse to the nurse's office. Wearing a bull mask enchanted when Kashima reveals her face, Hori agrees to draw all of Nozaki's backgrounds as long as Nozaki writes a play about a prince who turns into a bull. When Sakura and Nozaki forget to bring umbrellas for a rainy day, Nozaki brainstorms manga ideas involving umbrellas. After Seiyo throws them her umbrella and runs away, Sakura walks home sharing the umbrella with Nozaki. She hopes their walk inspires Nozaki's next issue, only to find just Saiyo's moment was added. Later, these two observe how Miyako deals with her editor Maino's crazy recommendations. Miyako struggles to confront Maino, so she passively aggressively draws a male character in a gaudy tanuki costume to make a statement. At this point, however, Maino loves the character. Even Sakura adores the character once. Miyako redraws him to resemble Nozaki. Bothered, Nozaki attempts to draw his own characters in tanuki costumes, but Sakura tells him to respect his manga. Hoping to write a story for his side characters Oze and Waka, Nozaki has Wakamatsu accept a movie date with Sayo. The date ends up one-sided as Wakamatsu is appalled by Sayo's taste in movies. Offended, she decided to invite other boys to the amusement parks, but Wakamatsu offers to go in their place so they don't suffer. When Hori suggests doing a musical production, Kashima requests singing lessons with Sino as the former is tone deaf and cannot sing. Later, the drama club is needed a substitute actor, so Hori and Nozaki then Mikoshiba are volunteered to join. During Mikoshiba's turn, Hori realizes Mikoshiba's shy but determined personality resembles Mamiko. Hori cannot help but root for Mikoshiba, knowing he is Mamiko to Kashima's jealousy at this point. So basically, Nozaki describes to Sakura how his first impression of Ken was cynical. Nozaki only warmed up to Ken once. The latter proved that he thoroughly read Nozaki's manga. Later, Nozaki wants to create more excitement within his manga for a reference to he pranks Sakura in various ways to surprise her, one of which he hide curry under a bento of rice. To Sakura's delight in comic form, Ken states that the curry idea reminds him of a gourmet manga. Later, Mikoshiba, Hori, and Wakamatsu get caught in the rain and stay over at Nozaki's place for shelter. The three awkwardly spend time together without without revealing the work for Nozaki's manga. Hori discovers Nozaki is using their interactions as a reference for a story about slumber parties. Nozaki persuades them to gossip about but he falls asleep right as their conversation becomes interesting at this point. In the summertime comes, and Sakura finds her Valentine's Day chocolates for Nozaki, which she failed to give him due to him gathering research. Sayo and Kashima urge to give Nozaki the chocolates to eat. However, he accidentally spills her chocolates on the ground. Nozaki promises to treat her with candy, to which Sakura happily pretends the candy is a White Day gift. Sakura, Nozaki, and their friends attend a summer festival where Sakura reminisces of the time that she and Nozaki first met, when he lifted her up and go over their school gate on the first day of school during the fireworks display. Sakura quietly confesses her love to Nozaki, thinking he hurt her. He learns into Sakura and replies that he loves fireworks too. Sakura laughs off his misleading response, knowing she is happy just staying by his side at this point, if you will. So that's the plot for the anime on Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. What do I think about this anime series? I really loved it because this got me into the otaku culture. Because kind of like in the way how Shirobako about how they made an anime series. But in Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, however, they were basically how they were making a manga. It's like your typical behind-the-scenes type manga of how they made a manga, of how they come up with a story and an idea for some note takings when, like, if this is how they made this, I mean, well, that is the question for this anime series like Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, because this how comes from a culture of how they made this manga in Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun especially. Because this anime series capsulates only 12 episodes from July 7th, 2014 until September 22nd, 2014. And yes, this anime series was directed by Mitsue Yamazaki, because what can you get when you got an otaku culture related anime series? Because this anime has to the extent of Bakuman, Welcome to the NHK, and Shirobako as well. So that's going to be it for my anime review on Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun for today's anime review. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's my thoughts on this. It's been a while since I watched it that I borrowed from the library, because I really love the series, because this got me into the otaku culture. If you haven't seen Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, I highly recommend you to check it out. If you can watch it on High Dive, or if you can get it on DVD and Blu-ray that is released by Sentai Filmworks as well. Hope subscribe for content. My anime plan link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter and Facebook if you have Twitter and Facebook account and all social media. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up by clicking on the like button on this video. Feel free to leave in the comments in the comment section below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RuRoniK95. Feel free to join my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Hit the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified, and keep it otaku for this anime review. And I got another brand new anime review coming up next. What I have in mind here.
Stay tuned for my next anime review. I got another current anime review for tomorrow's anime review on Himauto Umaru-chan. Stay tuned for my next anime review on Himauto Umaru-chan, because you won't want to miss another anime review.